It's time for the hot topic of the hour. Tesla CEO and co-head of the new Department of Government Efficiency, Elon Musk, is calling for the elimination of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, writing on X, quote, delete CFPB. There are too many duplicative regulatory agencies. The CFPB was created as part of the 2010 Dodd-Frank Act after the financial crisis by Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren to oversee parts of the financial industry that interact with consumers. Some say the agency is highly politicized, damaging, and unaccountable. During Trump's first term, he took steps to neutralize this agency, easing its enforcement of the banks. Musk also is asking users on X if the IRS should be, quote, deleted after the agency said its enforcement fund is $20 billion short after budget cuts. Biden's Deputy Treasury Secretary urging Congress to, quote, pay up. You can see in that poll, over 60% of X users said they think the agency's budget should be deleted. John Wansky, your reaction to that? Let's start with the IRS.
Okay,
the IRS.
My people. So as you guys can see from that clip, this is a short clip talking about Elon Musk pointing out different government agencies that he thinks should be deleted, right? I'm a normal citizen, right? So I'm not going to be like, so as a normal citizen, I do understand the concept and how a normal person that's not paying attention to a lot of stuff can be like, hey, delete the IRS. Isn't that wonderful? Yeah, just delete them, right? I think what they do is they do low hanging fruit in front of the masses, and then you have a large portion of people that are seeing that just go with it and not have like an additional ability to have critical thinking, or it's like, hey, look, we're gonna give a bunch of people money, and everyone's like, yeah, give them money, without the additional thought of like, all right, where is that funding gonna come from? Is that gonna take away from certain things that are beneficial to us as a society? People, I need you guys to be better critical thinkers. If you're a Trump supporter, please comment in the comments. Why do you guys take such low-hanging fruit and you're so easy, right? Like, hey, look, I'm gonna give you guys, hey, everyone gets new PS5s. Vote for me. And Trump supporters are like, yeah, right? Think about it. Kamala's not given a PS5. You guys are making me really want to scratch my head. I'm not trying to say that the IRS shouldn't be changed. Hey, possibly, if you can prove that it makes sense, eliminate it, go ahead. But I'm more talking about the method of processing information and sharing information. When you're in the government, you don't just put out a survey to your social media following and act as if that's representative of a full debate or a full conversation around the issue, right? So the first thing that you saw in that clip was that they said that he wants to eliminate the CFPB, right? I'm in the mortgage industry. I've been in the mortgage industry since 2004. Prior to the 2008 meltdown, 2008, 2009 Great Recession that we went through. I was in the mortgage industry when they brought out the CFPB, and I experienced all the different changes, additional regulations that it brought to my industry. So as someone that was in the industry, I could say, yeah, there were certain things that were like, oh man, that sucks. Oh, we have to do this now. We have to do licensing for this, and we have to do this and that. So as a person that was directly in the industry, I understand the different bureaucracy that created, the additional steps that we had to take to just be a loan officer or to be in the mortgage industry, right? But as a critically thinking, intelligent human, I also understood and weighed it against the reality of the business leading up to that. We were in an industry that had a lot of subprime loans, which means that these were short-term loans at very high interest rates, which were proven to put consumers in very tricky situations, right? So it put consumers in tricky situations, but it put banks in good situations to a certain degree, because if that consumer got into a tricky situation, meaning like a 2-year adjustable rate mortgage or some loan that had a high interest rate and a balloon payment, who won at the end of that situation? The banks would end up with that person's property after the person defaulted. The banks were the ones that got bailed out by the federal government, right? So just think about it. When you have Elon Musk, who's on the business side of things, and you have a Trump who's on the business side of things, wanting to remove all regulations, right? They're for the rich. They're for businesses. They want to remove all regulations. Who do you think that hurts, right? It hurts the consumer. It puts the consumer in a position where they are dealing with whatever the companies want to do, right? While Obama and Biden and the Democrats have been pushing things like, hey, let's remove overdraft fees. Hey, let's reduce student loan debt or help people. Are you guys not paying attention? Are you Trump supporters actually? Are you guys not paying attention, right? So when you hear and you see Republicans give tax breaks to the ultra wealthy in hopes or in a concept that it'll trickle down to you, and then you see them wanting to cut regulations on banks, are you banks? Are you a bank? If you're not a bank, you have to look at it from the understanding of what is beneficial to banks. Overdraft charges, cloudy advertising, right? They can advertise one thing, and if it changes later on, they're not going to be held accountable, right? Do you understand that the CFPB was brought in after a major meltdown where the consumer was hurt, where the country went through mass foreclosure? So the CFPB said, hey, let's add some regulations to the banking system, to the mortgage industry, so that we don't have this happen again. Are you guys not paying attention, right? Why do you think a goddamn billionaire, trillionaire, Elon Musk would be so obsessed with joining into a government of a country he's not even from, right? Have you not paid attention, right? So this is my main issue, my main problem with Trump supporters or with people that don't vote because they, I don't like Democrats. Look at me. I am a dreadlock wearing, self-employed individual. I'm from LA. I got a graffiti history. I am not your snowflake liberal. I'm just a person that operates through logic. And yes, the Democrats, whether you call them soft, whatever, they've been the more logical group. They've been the ones that seemingly are for the people, pushing narratives and agendas that are for the people. The laws, the bills that they're trying to pass, whether you feel like they're too much with LGBTQ isn't taken away from anybody. It's helping a group so that they don't get discriminated against, right? Maybe they push it too much, whatever, right? But if that's a negative to you, it's not a negative that is anti you. It isn't a negative that is gonna raise your cost of living or empower banks to do whatever the hell they want to you. It's just you don't agree with that topic. Okay, cool. But that's totally different than the Republicans pushing racist narratives, turning groups against each other. You got two dudes, a black guy and a white guy. They both work at the same warehouse, right? And they work with an immigrant Mexican dude, right? Or an immigrant from another country, from Haiti or whatever the case is. But you got the Republican Party turning that group against each other so that they can divide and conquer. So they can make one person seem like the other person's the problem. You got the white guy making it seem like the black guy is the problem with crime in the area. They work at the same place. They probably live in the same neighborhood. You got they're trying to convince the black guy that the Mexican guy is trying to take his jobs. They work in the same place and they probably live in the same neighborhood. And their kids are probably best friends. Like I'm a best friend with a Mexican dude. And my best friend when I lived in a different area was a white dude. And my other best friend's a black dude, right? So my point is that when you look at the different groups and what they're pushing, I don't understand how idiots will end up going for Trump. It's just the craziest thing to me. And I'm not trying to be like, you guys are stupid, but it's like the information that you're taking in, my G, you're getting duped. You're getting played, right? They played you with the concept that Democrats are bad because of Gaza, right? At least the Democrats were talking about a two-state solution, while your boy Trump didn't put Mike Huckabee in as the primary or the Israeli prime minister. He said that Palestine is not even a word. He said there's no such thing as an occupiers. The occupants are the Israeli or the Israel people. So I just want you guys to understand that you did nothing by not voting. It wasn't logical. It didn't make sense. And you probably likely voted against your own interests. I want you to understand that, right? But we got a long way to go in this life. There's going to be other elections, but you got to stop being a damn idiot. And the craziest thing to me is that the person who convinced you guys, the person that sold you guys, was the fucking most salesy, cornball, comb over, liar, terrible history, criminal. That's the guy who sold you, and you guys swear you guys are on some moral shit. The guy who cusses out people, calls people fat, has rape cases. Like, you can't pull that shit up on Obama. Most men, if 99.9% of men that I know don't have a pending sexual assault case. They don't have someone in the past that's saying that they were sexually assaulted by this person. So that's the person that duped you guys and convinced you. And even besides that, because you guys are dumb enough to be like, oh, I just like someone that tells it like it is. So if I say some shit to you that is not true, that's rude, disrespectful, but if it's how I feel, then y'all gonna like it. Come on, pull your heads out of your asses, right? Like, come on, think with some critical logic, man. You guys are not making sense, not intelligent. But hey, look, we're gonna start bringing that real stuff. I've been on the basketball stuff for a while, but I realize that my voice is needed in other areas, right? I need to speak up on this content, on this topic, because clearly I got people that I know that are black men that are like, ooh, Trump's cool. I'm like, are you guys, what about this guy, this screaming white guy with a racist history and a sexist history turns you guys up? You guys like that? You guys must be the true beta males, some true small energy motherfuckers. But anyways, look, like and subscribe for a real one. I don't care about the bullshit. We don't take that ignorant, I like Trump. Well, he's smart. You're stupid. Let's call it what it is. You're a fucking idiot. Hunters of wealth. Stand up.